awaydaysbeer.com, proud to partner with Talking Town. For only $14.99, grab your ITFC Legends Pack from The Beat to Hoppy Robson to Brazil's Best and Pablo's Pal. Whatever you need, whatever you want. ITFC Legends Pack, $14.99 at awaydaysbeer.com. Grab it today. Mass Creations are proud partners of Talking Town. High quality web and software development. From web development to SEO and everything in between, make your vision a reality with Mass Creations. Call 07896 904 571 or visit masscreations.co.uk or email info@masscreations.co.uk. Mass Creations, proud partners of Talking Town. Don't forget, tell them you came from Talking Town to get 10% off. Best Burger in Stone proud partners of Talking Town. Call 01449 680 058 to book a table today. Hello again, my friends, and you are my friends, and welcome to your full-time show. Sadly, Ipswich Town youth team didn't quite finish the job in the second half and went down 2-1 to Liverpool. A game that we must be very proud of the young lads. They've really left all on the football field and gave it their all. And tonight, for the first time in a long time, I'm very proud to be a Town fan. Let's get a few comments from the chat. Nick Miller, what's the score? Oh, Crunchy, you've answered him. Well done, Cruncher. David Brinkley, I hope the pub was okay. David, no extra time and penalties? No, afraid not. Owen, some decent youngsters in our team. Future looks bright. Mike Brown, absolutely gutted. Those lads did the club proud. Haven't been that excited for years watching a game. Absolutely agree. Michael Finch, gutted, but at least they fought gallantly against a Cat 1 team from the Premier League. Absolutely nothing to be ashamed of. Jem, welcome in, Jem. Hope Wales is doing well. Fair play, great effort. These lads can hold their heads up high. Well done. Mike D, Humphreys and Stewart were excellent. Great for the future. Striker just too isolated in the second half. Yes, well, Pep Cruncher did say before the goal, need to change something up here. And then they scored. But yeah, that's the closest I'm going to say the Crunch might have been right. Mike D actually thought Cameron Stewart looks a better prospect than Baggett. Interesting. Let's bring in our contributor. First of all, the Cruncher, who's been with me all evening, and the Goat Colin Plumb. First of all, Cruncher, what are your thoughts after tonight's
Look, they've got nothing to be ashamed of, them lads. They give it their all, and this is what Mark Detmer was saying last night. You know what we want to show on the pitch, and them lads tonight, they showed everything, didn't they? Heart, desire.
They really did.
They worked their absolute bollocks off, and I think in the end, I think the fitness told Martin. I did say at half time. You know, I think that might be the key. And the way they started the second half, the goal was coming, wasn't it? We could not get out. The lad up front, he was isolated. And then they obviously got the goal. But after the goal, I thought we came back into the game there. And although before the goal, Valentine had a great chance, didn't he? Snatched. He had two really good chances tonight, and he snatched at both of them.
I gave him the Lambert kiss of death before the game, didn't I? I said he'd be a decent player, and he's had two chances there tonight. The first one he sort of snatched at, and then the second one, as you mentioned there, and that's my fault.
Got in the target.
Yeah, that's my fault. It's a Lambert curse. Let's ask Paul. Colin, what did you make of it, my man?
Well, obviously the first part of it, I was working. I had it on Radio Suffolk on the bus. So listen to that, and I'm very, very impressed with our start. We seem to be dominating the first 10, 15 minutes and making a very good Liverpool side look pretty average, according to Brenner. But what I've got to say is, first of all, I just want to, you mentioned the word pride, Martin. Mm-hmm. That is the word, pride, in inverted commas, proud. I've just had I've had several texts from Tracy tonight, and I can't remember it word for word, her exact last one. It was something along the lines of, you know, so proud of what they've achieved, and we are all we're all talking off the same hymn sheet tonight. I, as a person, and I'm not just saying it because I've seen them, but I've seen all the Youth Cup final wins, the 3 Youth Cup final wins. And this run this year, although they've gone out in the semi-final stage, I think kind of goes along with those other previous runs, considering the amount of money that these clubs put into the academies today, e.g. Liverpool, Manchester City, Manchester United, Arsenal, we don't, Chelsea, we don't have to. I tell you, that achievement by Adam O'Tay and all of those lads, and I hope they'll watch this later. You deserve a medal, you boys. You're a Category 2 First Division football club, and you've got to a stage of the greatest youth tournament in this country, ahead of Chelsea, Man City, Man United, Arsenal, Tottenham. You go home tonight, boys, and you go home with that head held high. And I've got to reiterate what Richard texted me tonight, and I've got to say this. I know I've been back. I know Rich will laugh. You know, he knows what I'm going to say. I've been praising him for ages, not because I know his mother, but the boy is quality. If the Three Lions are watching this, that boy needs to be offered a contract, and it needs to be done. I personally would sign him up before I'm going to just say other players, first team players. I would get that done as a priority tomorrow. I really would.
Yeah, I did text Colin. I did text Colin in the second half saying we really need. I know Colin knows his mum and that, but I think Liam Gibbs, he was excellent tonight, and I think you've really got to try and tie him down to the club. You have people like kids like that. You know, he's got a lot of talent there, and I think he showed tonight that not just him. I thought that they all did. I thought the two wing backs, Martin, were excellent. I know I mentioned. I still can't pronounce his name. Ajabadji. I said before I really liked him, but I was really impressed with Cameron Humphreys on the left-hand side there. I thought he got up and down that line all night. It was just a shame, wasn't it, that Ajabadji had to go off because I think he cramped up, didn't he, a couple of times there. And I think it was the second goal he sort of let him run by him. Look, I think he was struggling there. Disappointing goal, wasn't it, the winner, really? I think the goalkeepers...
Both goals were disappointing, really.
Yeah, but the first one, he came out and he was in no man's land, and then he didn't really set himself, did he? But
first one was a ding gherkin.
Rich, can I just ask you a question? BG watched the game. Goalkeeper had a very good game, apparently, for Town.
Our goalkeeper?
Yeah. Made some good saves, didn't he?
I think he'll want this game back.
All right.
I think he'll want this game. I think. Well, maybe not the whole game, but the last effort on goal from him, I think he'll want back. I think he'll be.
Got to be stronger wrist. He's got to have stronger wrist because he's got quite a big hand on it, hasn't he? Really.
Yeah. And the second one is. Or the first one rather is a sort of a toss up. Really, is it the keeper's fault? Is it the defender's fault?
Spackman, he did say, didn't he, Martin? In his commentary, they were saying. Like, when you're getting deeper and deeper, you've got to communicate with your three centre-backs. And I think there was a little bit of miscommunication there because he's come out and he's sort of in no man's land, was he? Because he was never going to get the ball. And then I don't think he'd have saved it anyway because it was a deflection. But I wasn't overly impressed with the Liverpool goalie. I said to you at half-time,
no.
Under crosses, the high balls, he was all over the shop. He really was. But look, listen, there's no one on that pitch tonight. Like Colin said, they should all be proud. It's just a shame, innit? You think you couldn't get no fans there. Even their families couldn't be there tonight to go and watch them because they'd have been so proud of them because each and every one of them, you know, they worked their absolute socks off. And I thought we might take it to extra time. I really did. I thought we were going to take it to extra time. I just think in the end, I think we run out of legs a little bit, Martin.
Okay, let's get a few comments in. We've got Facebook user Gutted. But what performance from the lads, under 18s, each and every one of them proud to wear the shirt. Jason said you can't press for 90 minutes. John Ipswich, shame but so proud. He also thanks us for our coverage. No problem there, John. Ipswich is in our DNA. It's what we do. It's what we're about. Lee Bayliss, they have shown the first team up with their performance. If the first team had done the same, we'd be in the championship now. Ben Moore played their hearts out. You can see why they're a Category 1 side. Could we have played at pace a bit more to hurt them more because they were panicking a bit at times? Bald and blue. For once this season, I don't mind losing. We gave it our all. Matt
you look at the two lads who scored for Liverpool, though, Martin. You got the Polish lad. And the guy who come on, he's an under-17 German international. So this is what we're up against, you know.
Mike D, Colin, give us a wave. Colin, give us a wave. Colin, give us a wave. Hey! Stephen Parry, Gibbs was great. Paul Lambert, is that the Paul Lambert? Shame about the results, but the boys done us proud. Top quality of the field. Well done, Town. Uncle Paul.
Guv, can I just ask you both a question? Ben, you watched the game tonight. I'm going to put you right on the spot, Rich and Guv. How many of the starting 11 tonight would you say arguably could possibly make the bench at the start of next season?
Two. Gibbs and Baggett. I think Gibbs could count himself very unlucky to not have featured more than once this season.
I think they've been holding him back the FA Youth Cup, to be honest, though, Martin. I would believe, wouldn't you? Maybe.
Tough to say. Don't know.
Yeah, I do agree with that, Martin. There's no one else there really at the minute. I know, like I said, Humphreys, you know, Ajabaji, he was good, but you think to make that step up at the minute it's a massive effort.
I think Humphreys good.
Yeah, I thought he was.
It's not a position of direct in the firing line. Like Baggett, maybe centrally, you're under it a lot more. 90 minutes, you're under it. Left wing, you can kind of hide when you need to. When you're not having a good game or not started well or a couple of bad touches, you can go and hide a little bit and recompose.
Sid Driver says Cameron Stewart. I thought he was excellent as well at centre back. Yes, I thought he played really well.
He was.
Rich, where does Humphreys play, mate?
He played left wing back. And he was up and down that line. Even in the 90th minute, Colin, he put a ball in there. And he looks like he's got a really good engine on him. Because that's like Spackman said, that's a real. You've got to be fit, Martin, to play that role, haven't you? When you're playing your wing backs, they've got to be up and down that line, and they both did. It was just a shame the lad the other side, he cramped up twice, and they had to take him off because I thought he had a really good game as well. But
but in terms of Colin's question about stepping up is, unless you're the complete package at centre half, it's always difficult. Because if you have a bad touch or a bad tackle or a bad header, you don't get a 5-10 minute break because you're playing centrally in this, and that's, you're always involved in something. Left wing, right wing, you can start poorly, recompose, and go again, can't you? A little bit. So it's sometimes easier for players to step up in those sort of positions. Back to Colin's question about who could step up.
Martin, good shout there from Borden Blue. Of course, our first choice under 18 keeper didn't make it tonight, did he? He's still injured. So do we think maybe that would have probably made a slight difference?
Possibly. It's a bit unfair for name escapes me all of a sudden. Rid. I've been saying get rid all evening. Get rid. I thought Spackman was going to line it up some point during that game, but he never delivered through on the line. It was there to be had. In the first half when he punched it clear, I thought he was going to come up with the old get rid. But he never did. Poor old Spackman.
How many foreign players today have in the side, Rich? Liverpool.
I don't know. The two lads who scored, Colin, one was Polish and the other one was a German under 17 international. He was that his first touch, Martin, when he scored? Because he hadn't hardly been on the pitch very long, had he?
No. Thing is, though, is this actually, and maybe this is not a conversation for today's show, maybe it's a conversation for the Lisbon show, but is this actually a win for people who want category 1 or 2 setups? Because this is how it's supposed to be, isn't it? Category 1 teams going through over category 2 teams.
Well, you'd think so, wouldn't you? If you look at the resources they've got compared to us, but
it shouldn't be that way, should it?
No, but like Colin said, it's a cup game. These games. Colin said, didn't you, before the game? Stay in the game as long as you could, and it was the perfect first half, wasn't it? It was like we stayed in the game, and then literally right at half time we nicked it. And I know you said, Martin, second half it was. You should go and get that second goal. But I thought Liverpool started really well, didn't they? First 10, 15 minutes. And they really penned us in. And we just couldn't get out. We could not get out. There was no real outlet up the front there. What was the lad up front? Biarbo. There was a couple of times the ball come to him and you've got to hold that ball up when you're under pressure, haven't you? And he didn't sort of get hold of it. But look, nothing to be ashamed of.
No,
we're proud tonight. We've had a real poor season on the pitch, first team, but this lot done us proud.
I just detest the whole way they've done it now with the Cat 1, Cat 2, etc., etc. Youth football should never ever really be about that. It should be a level playing field. It should be as much as you can be. And I understand certain clubs, Liverpool being one, are a huge powerhouse in the game. But you try and get a Category 1 academy, Crunch. It's ridiculously difficult, but for a reason.
Well, yeah, but we just got to take our medicine, haven't we? At the minute, we're a League One team.
It don't matter. You won't get a Category 1 academy because there's a certain number and they don't want it anymore.
Did we only just miss out when we applied for it? Didn't
but don't you need teams to drop out of a Cat 1 status because they're not increasing the quota they've got?
I'm not sure, but you look. You got so Middlesbrough, they're still Cat 1 in their Championship. Fulham, but look, we played seven games in this, Colin. You know, we entered in the very first round. So look, we come really close. Will they have any regrets tonight? The players there, maybe a little bit, but then they'll go away.
Rich, the tournament, the FA Youth Tournament, it absolutely mirrors the FA Cup. We all know that. Anybody who knows anything about football, the FA Youth Cup mirrors the FA Cup. And what we're actually saying here, and why we're so proud, is the fact that we could be like, say, for example, we could be Ipswich Town, obviously, because we are in the 3rd division of the Football League as such. And so that's like, us getting to Wembley and playing Liverpool in the FA Cup semi-final. Absolutely mirror image. And that is how proud those boys should be. It's like, I'm not going to be disrespectful, but I'm going to say somebody like Shrewsbury, that's like, or Rochdale. It's like somebody like Shrewsbury or Rochdale getting the semi-final FA Cup and playing Man United at Wembley. There's no difference whatsoever. That's how proud those boys should be tonight. And they will be. And I'll tell you, Adam Aitai, I hope I pronounced his name right, that man should be brought in the office tomorrow and really, really, told to his face, he probably has been, but told to his face exactly what a great job he's done with that youth setup this year. Because that bloke has done a fantastic job with those under-18s, and that mustn't go unnoticed, so I'm sure it won't be.
It's interesting. I was reading Colin before the game, and it was a really good interview. He was saying he'd rather have 5 players come through for the first team than win the trophy if you had the choice, because obviously, look, we want to win it, but at the end of the day, it's about producing players. Not just for our first team, to go and have a career in the game, because not all of these kids are going to play for Ipswich Town. Probably not many, are there? In this team tonight, how many of these are going to make it to the first team? But if they go and have a career somewhere else, he's done his job.
Oh, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. I mean, there are exceptions to the rule. Obviously, in the late 70s, early 80s, through the 70s rather, really. Through the 70s, I mean, we must have produced at least 8, 9, 10 full international footballers out of our youth policy over a 3 or 4 or 5 year period through the 70s. I mean, that was exceptional. That was an exception to the rule. But like you quite rightly say, Rich, if you bring through, and I'm going to go a little bit over the top here maybe, but if you bring through, like you just said, Rich, quite rightly, 4 or 5 players through that youth policy of, say, 18 to 20 players, you bring through 4 or 5 of those to the first team, you deserve a big, big, big pat on the back. Absolutely.
This is where it's been a little bit disappointing for me. I don't know what you two think. I was talking to my dad today. The last player we had come through of any quality was Connor Wickham. Now, that was, how long ago was that? Was that 2010, 11 when he was sold?
Oh, God, easy. Something like that, yeah. Yeah, easy that.
2011, I think, yeah.
So you're thinking like 10 years. And look, I know we're all about Colin loves the youth coming through, but it's disappointing when you've had 10 years since we've really produced anyone of any real quality. Look, I know at the minute you've got Wolfenden, you've got Downs, but they're way off the mark. What you should be looking to produce.
Way off the mark. Way off the mark, because anyone any better, Charlie Brown, for example.
Oh no, yeah. That's where we
Zach Knight.
That's just how it is, isn't it?
That's where the Cat 2, Cat 1 disparity comes into it.
Nothing you can do. Nothing you can do.
So on that basis, I would say actually we're probably bang where we should be. Flynn Downs, Wolfenden, El Muzani about to come through, Dobra about to come through, all come through the ranks at Ipswich Town. You know,
who's going to be
I'm
the
amazed
next?
Baggett's still here, to be honest with you, because somebody with the pedigree that he is labelled to have, clubs like Liverpool can stockpile a little bit. They can take.
I agreed with who was it said in the chat? Was it Mike? That was really early in the chat. I thought Cameron Stewart played as well as Baggett did tonight. I thought he really did. But Baggett, look, he has got everything. He's got everything. He's got the size. He's good on the ball. I'm still. It's a big step up, Martin. I know what you're saying. It is time now to throw some of these kids in.
I think he will have a fantastic career, but I would, if I was the manager, this is why I'm not the manager, I'd be looking at him as him in a holding midfielder role. I think he's got all the tools to just sit in front of the back four and screen them all day long. He can play. He's comfortable. He can read a game. He can tackle. He just, like, in the middle of that back three tonight, he just looks to me like a holder more than a centre half.
Yeah, there's only one time, I think it was early on in the second half, he got caught out of position. He won a header, and then the ball went over the top, and he should have finished it, shouldn't he? Mate, he blazed it over the bar. It should have been 1-1. But that was really, for me, his only mistake he made.
I personally think, Martin and Rich, we've got to stop. I mean, the greats of Bobby, you know, obviously they were different class players, I know, but when you think of George and Beat and the two 17-year-olds, then you look at Terry and you look at Russell and you look at people like Gatesy, people like that came through the youth policy. I think we've got to stop being scared. I know, you know, people would probably say, yeah, but are they at that level? I agree with you, Martin. I mean, you know, we've got to stop being scared about playing players in the first team. But I mean, George and Kevin both made their debuts at Old Trafford, and they both made their debut. No, and they both made their debut.
That comment there from Adam Flatt, Colin. You read that comment there from Adam Flatt. Look where the 2005 final lads ended.
Which side? Because a few of the other side ended up having quite a good career.
Well, yeah, but he's meaning Town, not Gareth Bale.
I know. Michael Finch says, I must congratulate the under-18s, even though they've lost tonight. This is the first time I've been on TT when a loss hasn't been greeted with faces that look like slapped arses. It's true. Lee Bayliss, although my face never looks like a slapped ass. Lee Bayliss, I think with what's to come, the future of the club looks very bright indeed, and with new regimes, there can only be benefit. It will get a lot better for us all. Owen, bigger clubs taking them at 11 years of age. Exactly why, before you even think about an academy, you need a good, decent first team, in my opinion. Jem, I'm listening to Mark last night on the other owners. I'm so excited about our future. Jason Stewart,
coming up.
I'm not quite that far down the list yet.
Okay.
Give me a second. Stuart is back up. Needs to go out to football. Holly Leach going to school with Nico Valentine and his head ball. Great head boy. Great guy and one to watch for the future. Lee, looking at Aston Villa under 18s, they look good and be a good fun with Liverpool. Callie, kids did great. There's a massive gap between under 18s and senior. There wasn't for Matheson at Rochdale.
True.
But let
that float out there.
Martin, but the point I was trying to make earlier, I know they were great players, but George and Beattie made their debuts both at 17 years old, marking the great George Best. Both of them at Old Trafford. Both of them. Beattie done it 1 year.
That's a non-starter, that comment, because that was an under-18s team playing. We're not saying about we're going to chuck the whole under-18s team in, are we? You just got to sprinkle the odd one or two in.
Of course you
Drop
have.
them in. If you've got a good side, if you've got a good side, it's easier to put these players in. When
look at Joe Royal's team. Look at Joe Royal's team. You had a year where Lewis Price and Shane Supple were your two goalkeepers, and you still did okay. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the most important position, one of the most important positions in a team. You then had other players in that. Ian Westlake had no career after he left Ipswich Town, but was a great player for us. Matt Richards. You had other young players. Darren Bent just was sort of thrown in. If you've got the right building blocks around these young lads, it doesn't matter where or what their position they play. Where's he? It's not a Brett Johnson again, is it?
Martin, I can't remember. Where did Westlake go to?
Leeds. Part exchange with Dan Hardy.
Yeah, of course he did, yeah. I couldn't remember where it went.
Look at that.
Hey?
Dropping the old Cruncher style knowledge there. Even part exchange. Mike D. Baggett looks like an under-23 player. That's why he stands out. Yeah. Fair point. But then under 23s isn't much isn't much better, isn't much worse than the third tier English football, I wouldn't say. Stephen Parry, agreed, but we need first team to give. Yeah, no, you need to get your first team players correct, and then you need to sort of sprinkle in like hundreds of thousands on top of a donut your young players. And as I said earlier in the show, your right back, your left back, your wing positions, they're sometimes the easiest position to do them. So George Burley, Luke Matheson, etc. You can get away with having a bad 20 minutes at senior football, whereas in the middle you can't. Mike D, Goverpedia, absolutely love it. Kev Sherwood, Baggett and Gibbs need to go out on loan. The likes of Colchester and Swindon, well, they're taking Sears, Chambers and Skuse office instead.
I personally wouldn't want to see that.
No,
I personally wouldn't want to see Liam going out on loan. I wouldn't. I'll be having him on the bench starting next season, and Baggett all day long. Heard it here first, Rich.
Heard it here first.
He's got to sign that contract yet. He's got to sign that contract yet, Colin.
Huh?
He's got to sign that contract yet.
Sorry? No, I know. Yeah, that's got to be the top priority in this next few days, in my opinion. Absolutely spot on.
So
I'd have Gibbs and Baggett on the bench next year. I would, honestly. Both of them. Definitely.
Big shout. Mike D. Gibbs looks better than Dazelle, to be fair. Bit harsh on Andre. Bit harsh. And I'm saying that. Stephen Parry, I can see a bench for Gibbs. Think it's a bit soon for Baggett. Either way, I'm very proud. Very proud as a Town fan this evening. How do you want to finish tonight's show? Because normally I'd say right about round. Let's give it, ratings out of 10. Is that a fair thing to do tonight, Crunch? Do you think?
Yeah, they were all excellent. Like I said before, there's not one there that you could say.
That's probably Brett Johnson at the front door coming from a sandwich, Crunch.
No, not round there. Shopping's not coming till tomorrow, mate.
When you look behind you, disappeared, I thought, oh no, it's not another Brett Johnson's moment, is it? He's going to come back with somebody. Look, it's Matt Phillips.
Where is he tonight? He's having his dinner,
having his Wagamama, probably. Stephen says Pride, 10 out of 10. Zap says go Chelsea. Yep. You've got a Champions League final. You've got an FA Cup final. Got lots going on. Cup of Sugar says Jason Clayton. So go on, Crunch. Finish that sentence off. You were saying you were proud of the lads.
Yeah, look, there's no one. You could go through all of them. Every single one of them. They'll be in that dressing room and they'll be disappointed. But when they wake up tomorrow morning and they reflect, they should be really proud on not just what they've achieved tonight and what they've achieved over the season. But they've still got another game, haven't they, Colin, in the playoffs, I think, for the league?
Yeah, so they're under 23s. Yeah, under 18s, under 23s.
They just need to reflect on what they've done and have the summer away, and then let's have another crack at it next season. We've got to the semi-finals, guys. The semi-finals. Yeah. We've beaten 2 Category 1 teams along the way, and we've taken Liverpool, who've knocked out. What did they knock out? Arsenal. I think they knocked out Man U. They knocked out Leicester. We took them all the way. We took them all the way, and with a little bit of luck, we could have got a result tonight. We could have done, but we didn't.
Yeah.
But it's all about development, isn't it, for them? And if we can get 2 or 3 of these into the first team, in and around the first team. It's job done in it. And look, Adam Arte, hats off to you because you've done an absolutely fantastic job, and you've got no need to be down tonight. I know they'll be disappointed, but what's happening with the dog? Is he asleep?
Well, yeah. Michael says, "Finish doggo." So I thought I'd show the doggo and my pajamas because it's business up top, party down below. Colin, final words.
Just pride, really, Martin, and I just got to agree with Rich. Really, I mean, they'll go in that dressing room and they will feel like as if they've they lost a pound and found a penny. But tomorrow morning, they'll say to themselves, they'll think about it, and they'll say to themselves, with first round right away to the semi-final, fantastic achievement. More important than anything, it's actually it's reinvigorated the supporters.
1-0 Arsenal. 1-0 Arsenal against Chelsea. 1-0 Arsenal, Colin.
Bloody hell! I don't believe that. Yeah,
right.
But I just want to mirror what Richard said. What Martin said. Adam A. Taylor, I said earlier, head held up high. He's got nothing to feel sorry about whatsoever. He's done a marvellous job, and I'm sure Paul Cook and Roberts and Francis Jeffers probably all went in that dressing room afterwards and told him what they thought of him in his matches. Just a fantastic effort, and like Rich said, if, like I said a little while ago, if 2 or 3 or a couple of them at least get on that bench first 5-6 games next season, job done. Definitely, absolutely fantastic effort, boys. Yeah, and I'd like to say all the best to the Gibbs family because I supported you all the way through. And if you're watching
do you, Colin?
Yeah, if I watch it, I just want to see him get in that first team, sign that contract, get in that first team.
You know where I want to see him, Colin? You know where I want to see him?
Huh?
You know where I want to see Liam? I want to see him on the pod. I want to see him on the pod.
Well, when he signs the contract, hopefully, I'll try to arrange something, Rich and Mark. Okay?
Yeah, get him on.
Okay, absolutely. Right. We thank everybody who sponsors or supports the show on Ko-Fi. That's a very old list. I do apologise. But we thank every single one of you. You can support us on Ko-Fi. But I will close the show out tonight with a little package of our best moments from this year, as it is officially now our last match day ticket of this season. The match day ticket will return next year, but until then...
No. Match day ticket might return in the summer, I think.
It might well do. Shall we set sail then, ladies and gentlemen? Whatever day it is. I'm so baffled and excited by that performance that I don't even know what day it is now. I'm going to introduce this man first because he is now chief bandwagon driver. Look at him, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this man. What is he wearing?
100 points, 100 goals.
I am going to put a positive spin on this.
Do not get me started about Holy. I think he is fucking dreadful.
Just turned the corner. We've just beaten Hull, who arguably, I spoke to Portsmouth fans, I spoke to Wigan fans. They've said to me, Hull, best team in the division. They run away with it. We beat them. We've beaten Doncaster. We just turned the corner.
Before that sending off, we were going to get battered. Yeah? They were well better than we were. Yeah?
It's not Cook because he's not been here long enough to do that. I just wonder if with Cook coming in, sort of the players have gone a bit too hyper, perhaps.
Do you know what I mean? As a right back, and bear in mind, I have played there. Yeah, your role is if on that side of the corner, your role is to make sure you pick up the back end.
He's completely lost it for me. Freddie says,
and this season we're in fucking January, and we've had 4 red cards and 4 penalties.
Last season, there's red cards all over the place. I think I can think of countless occasions where it just players that are on bookings just making fouls you're never ever going to get away with unless the ref doesn't see it.
The authority on Steve's knocked on the head pretty much. Really, we have no leadership on and off the pitch. Our beloved Ipswich Town is in such a
Portman
mess.
Road 0, and until today I had the exact same record as Drennan, and now I don't. No, I don't. No normal. That was no normal.